Good morning, class. As I stated in the previous lesson, today's topic is going to be intensive and extensive commercial agriculture. So I want you to understand this before we go deep into the topic. It's very important, really important to understand the concept before we go deep. So here are our main two concepts. We have what you call our intensive commercial farming and extensive commercial farming. I just gave you handouts there with some notes that I've compiled for you with definitions and the visuals. As you can see on the board, I have my two visuals, which is for what? Extensive commercial agriculture and intensive commercial agriculture. So I want us to define what you call extensive commercial agriculture. You can go on the first page there, on the slide, on the handout that I gave you. So it's saying extensive commercial agriculture is a type of farming that uses few inputs and labor facilities, capitals in relation to the large land area. Here we're talking about the land, supposed to be what large is stated there. So this simply means that the extensive commercial farms are typically large and rely on on natural resources. What are natural resources that I'm referring to? We are referring to to rainfall, which helps to to grow crops and raise the livestock. Crops that commonly grow using extensive commercial method are what? We're talking about wheat, corn, soybeans, and canola, etc. There are many of them, but there I named four. You can come up with others that you know, or go do some research, compile with the ones that I just gave you there. So right now I want us to move to what we call intensive commercial agriculture. Intensive commercial agriculture is also known as industrial agriculture or conventional agriculture. So these two are not really the same, they are different. So here it's saying intensive commercial agriculture is what? It's a stand-in contrast to extensive commercial agriculture, and it prioritizes by big inputs and smaller land areas. So as we heard before, extensive have what? Large land areas, while intensive have small land areas. So right now they are stating that extensive commercial agriculture is prioritized on outputs and smaller land areas through increased inputs. The difference is that here the inputs are increased, meaning that resources like labor, capital, and various chemicals we need to have more of them in intensive farming compared to extensive farming. So intensive agriculture relies on heavily and external resources to maximize the crop yields and animal production. So this include fertilizers, pesticides, herbicides, antibiotics for animals, and machineries. Small land area compared to extensive farms. So here we're dealing with a small land area, while here we're dealing with with a big land area. So can you please all turn to page 2? So right now we are still continuing. It's saying intensive farms tend to be smaller in size. This allows more focused management resources allocated to achieve big yields. So it might be small, but they achieve big yields. And remember, they maximize things here, such as fertilizers and stuff. They are mentioned there, etc. You have them on your nose there. So right now they are saying for intensive farming, we also do use what you call controlled environment. As you can see here, we have our greenhouse gases. This is what we call controlled environment. The temperature here and the weather condition are being monitored compared to this one, because here it's outside on the land. The weather here is a typical weather that we experience, but here everything is being monitored. So they are saying controlled environments in some cases on intensive may utilize greenhouses and controlled environments facilities to optimize growing conditions for crops regardless external weather patterns. So the weather is not a problem when it comes to controlled environment, because on greenhouse they can monitor everything. They can monitor the light, the condition, the heat. While all extensive, they don't make any use of controlled environment such as greenhouses. So right now I want us to go to the advantages and disadvantages. You know that most of the things have advantages and have disadvantages. They work hand in hand. So I'm going to go for the advantages of what? Of intensive farming. So advantage of intensive commercial agriculture is what? Increase yield. So the advantage is what? The increase yield. So when I'm talking about increasing yield, it simply means that intensive method can significantly increase food production. We know that food production is a problem in the world, but then the intensive farming can increase food production per unit of a land, which is what? Crucial for feeding and growing global population. So this helps fight what you call food production, because we know we have shortage of food, whereby you find that food is more expensive compared to the previous years. So another advantage is what? Is improved efficiency. The use of machineries and other technologies can streamline agriculture processes, reducing labor costs and increasing production efficiency. Remember, machineries can work overtime 24 hours compared to when people are being the one who's working. So that can increase what? Production efficiency and the streamline. So more technology is being used here. As you can see, we are also under the greenhouse gases here. We have a tractor here, which is the one being used to do what? To make the farm there. And you know, when it comes to other things, this falls under our technology, because you know in the modern days we used to do by hands. So tractor falls under the technology mentioned there, and the greenhouse gases are facilities that falls under the controlled environments. So let me go to the last advantage of what? Of intensive farming. It might be last on the paper, on the notes that I gave you, but it's not last on the advantage. There are a lot of them out there. You can go get some, do some research. So it says greater control. Remember, I told you that everything here can be monitored and can be controlled. So the control here is great. So it simply means that great controlled environments and intensive management practices can minimize crop losses and due to pest, diseases, and weather fluctuation. So here, the great control can minimize what? The crop losses, because everything is what? Is being controlled and monitored under the greenhouse gases. And the pests here are not likely to be here, because remember, everything is monitored and is modernized compared to what? To our extensive commercial agriculture. And the diseases here are unlikely to occur, because why? Everything is contained inside the controlled environment. So we have a last page there, which is page number 3. Page number 3 right now, we'll be moving to what we call disadvantages of the intensive commercial agriculture. So it's saying environmental impact. Right now we're dealing with the environmental impact. Remember, we have so many different impacts. So on environmental impact, the heavy use of the fertilizers and water can contribute to what? To environmental pollution, resources, and depletion. So remember, here we're increasing the yields. So meaning we'll need more fertilizers, more water, which can also lead to what? To environmental pollution and resources depletion. So remember, whatever that we use often and we use more, it can be depleted anytime. So when we use more fertilizers, we can run out of fertilizers, it can be depleted. So as you can see, the more we use, the more we're increasing the risk of depletion of the products, and it can also contribute to what we call environmental pollution. Another disadvantage is what we call reduced biodiversity. We've been dealing with biodiversity before. Here we'll be referring to what we call monoculture cropping and confined animal production that can lead to a decline in biodiversity and ecosystem. Remember, there are those of you who are doing life sciences here, you've been dealing with biodiversity. You can refer to those, these things are linked. And then I want us to quickly jump to conclusion. Remember, in conclusion, intensive commercial agriculture is what? It's a dominant force in the modern food production, offering significant contribution to global and food security. So guys, we did everything there. I hope you're paying attention.